The Memphis Grizzlies have quietly been one of the best teams at 20-10, winners of 12 of their last 15, with one of the best offenses this league has ever seen. Morant has returned to star status among his comeback, making a great case for an all-star appearance. And while guys like Jaren Jr. and Desmond Bane have been playing very good, the Grizzlies front office has capitalized where others have not, with players like Zach Edey, Scottie Pippen Jr., Jaylen and Huff being the difference. With playoff experience already under this core's belt, we know Memphis can play when it matters. But are the Grizzlies really good enough to compete with the best? Well, Memphis is already doing something that no other team can accomplish. With an offensive rating that ranks 5th and defensive rating that's 4th, they are the only team to rank top 6th in both, something incredibly important to winning a championship, as 7 of the last 10 champions were top 5 in offensive rating and 6 were top 5 in defensive rating. That caused the Grizzlies to rank 4th in net rating at plus 8.9, the best in franchise history. This team is elite on both sides of the ball, something really needed to compete for a championship. The Memphis Grizzlies are on pace to win 55 games, just one short of when they took the league by storm in 2022. Yeah, that's how good they've been. Though they currently sit 3rd in the West, they are just a half game back at the time of this recording, and by the time you're seeing this, they may already be in 2nd, as they're just a half game back at Houston. But what is making this team so good is their offense. They're averaging 122.7 points per game, nearly a full point more than 2nd place Cleveland, and 17 points more than last place New Orleans. That is the 9th most average points in a season ever and 2nd highest over the last 4 decades, also by far being the franchise record. And with a start this good, even a monumental collapse couldn't prevent this record from being broken. What has caused this is the team's insane pace, with the league leading 105.1 possessions per game, nearly 10 more than the last place Nets, and the 2nd fastest pace since 2000, only just trailing the 2020 Bucks. And somehow they get faster without Morant, going from 103.6 to 105.5, showing just how well this team fits. Unsurprisingly, they are an elite team in transition, but elite may be an understatement as they are historically good. Memphis is averaging 36.5 points in transition, with 2nd place sitting at 30.7 with Chicago. They're nearly doubling Minnesota's transition points. With their speed, ranking top 10 in steals and blocks, they've been able to get out in transition and just create a lot of opportunities in the open floor, and they have still been really efficient, ranking top 10 in points per possession and effective field goal percentage when in transition. They've been able to race out to early leads, with the best plus-minus in the first half at an average of plus 8.3, and excel even more in the second quarter. With their depth coming in off the bench, they are easily the best second quarter team in basketball. Potentially the best quality of this team in the half court is how much they can get to the line on drives. They're 4th in free throw attempts and 2nd generated by drives with 7.8 a game. They're one of just 3 teams to average 30 or more on drives, along with the Thunder and Mavs, and are averaging a league-leading 6.9 assists on drives. Inside, this team is dominant, making the 4th most shots inside the restricted area at a crazy 70.5% rate, the 5th highest in the league, and even on shots in the paint, not inside the restricted area, Memphis has a league-leading 10 made field goals per game. With the combination of big men Jaren Jr. and Zach Edey, along with the dynamic scorer in Morant, this team is unguardable inside. But before I go further, thank you so much for making it this far in the video. It already helps out a ton, but if you are enjoying, if you could subscribe or like the video, it helps me and future videos out tremendously. But back to it. Defensively, this team is also very dangerous. I previously mentioned the team's 4th ranked defensive rating, but that is also the team's best defensive rating in a decade. And in relative defensive rating, a metric that compares defensive rating to league average that year, this Grizzlies team is tied with the 2012-13 Grizz for the best in franchise history. That 2012-13 Memphis team made the conference finals and won 56 games. Despite playing at such a fast pace and giving so many possessions to their opponents, they are league average in opponents' points per games and shoot just 43.9% from the field and 33.4% against Memphis, both ranking top 3. They also force 16.8 turnovers a game, ranking 4th, which helped result in the transition points. With so many good defenders, especially guys built for today's league, it is hard to even imagine how other teams score on them. The defensive personnel they have is just insane. Jaren Jr. won DPOY in 2023, and though with Wemby and Chet now in the league, he might not win another one, he undoubtedly will always be a competitor and is 2nd in odds for the award. Triple J is an elite rim protector, but long and fast to be very versatile, the perfect combo for a big defender in today's league. And offensively, he can space the floor. We know how good he is shooting, and he's shooting over 5 threes a game on 35%, while averaging 21.5 points a game. The 2nd straight season averaging 20, and among actual Memphis teams that are contending, his career high. But the entire big men core is very good. Zach Edey has adjusted well to the league, and mobile enough to keep up on both ends of the floor, but too big to contain, while his deep-range shooting has actually showed flashes, something we were concerned about, but kind of pondering in the summer, as well as Huff, who had been tossed aside from everywhere he had been, most recently in Denver, who needs a player like him. But the explosive 7-footer who shot 41% from 3 and is great near the rim on both sides is incredibly useful, as he may have found his home in Memphis. Desmond Bane has also been a good tertiary guy, and though his scoring has gone down, he can fit within the system and provide some shooting for a team league average at the 3-point shot. Jaylen Wells has been a complete shock to many fans. The 39th pick as a rookie has made a huge impact from day one as a multi-level scorer who can do dirty work and is a very good defender. On a team already with Ja and Bane, he has found his way into a starting role and thrived in it as a player that's impact goes much further than the numbers show, and Scottie Pippen Jr. is another guy that has been surprisingly good, and just like that, his impact is huge, and he has also found his home in Memphis as a rotational 11, 5, and 3 guy as a deep range shooter that it's been pretty solid. Santi Aldama is also having the best year of his career, with career highs in points, rebounds, and assists, while shooting the best he ever has, nearly 39% from deep, at 6'11", while backups Marcus Smart, Brandon Clark, and Jake LaRavia have also been playing very solid. But let's get to the real star, Morant. Now, he has been slightly disappointing to start the season, but he came back from pretty much a year and a half without playing basketball. But it is a new Ja we are seeing, which may be better for the long-term health and lengthiness of his career. His scoring has taken a slight dip and become slightly less efficient, and while he still is elite near the rim, he has promised to not dunk much. On a surface level, that sucks. He's very fun, but Ja's career will almost certainly be longer because of this change, and when he wants to take over, he still can. His playmaking has also been much better. At 8 assists a game, he really is one of the best creators in the league, and nobody talks about it. And the fact that this Grizzlies team is this good, that Ja doesn't have to average 27 and 9 to win, is a testament to their depth. They are legitimately like 11 guys deep, and even in the 12 games he's missed, Memphis went 8-4 with some blowouts, 6 15-plus point wins, and a net rating of plus 11.6. The Grizzlies are also doing all of this with just 3 games of Vince Williams, who averaged 10, 5.5, and 3.5 last season, and G.G. Jackson, a breakout rookie who averaged nearly 15 over the entire year and 18 over the last 2 months last season. The Grizzlies are going to get way better when these guys come back. While there are some concerns around this team and in their half-court offense and volume 3-point shooter, Memphis is up there in the West. They have 2 all-star candidates in Ja and Jaren, who will most likely get home court in the playoffs and are the highest scoring team in the league. With the reinforcements coming, watch out for the Grizzlies as they can legitimately beat anybody.